This is Dudu FM, an African radio.
Yeah, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's edition of African Youth Parliament. It's a pleasure to be here today, and we say a very big thank you to Dudu from the first and only truly Pan-African media house for this wonderful opportunity. It is a big opportunity to be here, and we say a very big thank you to everyone that has come here to join us. A big thank you to everyone who is watching us also live on YouTube, listening to us live on Twitter, listening to us live on Dudu Radio, and everybody who has given us their time to be here. We appreciate it very much. A very big thanks to ajokeade for joining us. A very big thanks to our mommy Adekemi Adetoye. A very big thanks to you, Saifa Ilerioluwa. We really appreciate you for today's opportunity. And yes, everyone out there also listening to us, you are the reason why we come here, and we will always be here as long as you want us to be. We thank everybody, and we say a very big thank you once again. So yeah, we've been having conversations. As you know, this is African Youth Parliament. And on African Youth Parliament, what we have is conversations about Africa, conversations that influence Africa, conversations that is majorly about Africa, everything Africa. That is what we discuss here. We want to know what Africa is, who Africans are, why we are Africans, what we should do as Africans, what opportunities and everything outside Africa, and everything within Africa. So, and that is why we're here once again today. So today, we'd like to talk about the last topic pertaining to African women. We've been having this conversation for a long time, and I'm very happy that we have our women right here. And this is the final conversation on this, because today being the last day of the month of August, so we can move to our next topic. And so, yes, we've been having that conversation about African women and so on, about our African women, everything, what people think about them, how they see themselves, how people see them, the expectations of African women. Even should there be any expectation for an African woman? Shouldn't an African woman be given the right to choose her destiny, to choose who she wants to be, what she wants to do, how she wants to act? And you know, it's very interesting because yesterday I was at a place and I had a very wonderful conversation with some set of people, young-minded Africans too, and from different backgrounds, and were sharing their own various opinions. We are beginning to see, we had the same conversation. What led to the conversation was something about the high rate of divorce in Africa currently. Oh yes, Damsey Pictures, they say a very big thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to African Youth Parliament. So yes, a very big conversation about why there is a very high rate of divorce among Africans lately. And then it was said that it is majorly the fault of the women. That can't you see? It is the women are the ones doing this, the women are the one doing that. And then the guys, they were like, Kilagombe. Even people who were not among, were not in the group, they just came and joined us as soon as they heard divorce, as soon as they heard that there is a problem and so on. So this led to asking, once upon a time, there was nothing majorly as divorce, though we heard of situations whereby but it was always very rare, or komaniki or malo, or komasalo, something like that. It was always very rare. So but now there are many situations of divorce, either the wife running away or the husband running away. Mostly now, if someone even shared his own experience of his own neighbor, someone very close to him, running away and leaving the woman with the children. But that was not just the issue too. When I was going out last week, I was working on a gig, and I met a man who was telling me his own experience of how his own wife left him. He had an accident, was in the hospital. And then the wife came with the children, to look at him, to check on him, like, Okomi, how are you? The next thing, she never returned and left him on the sick bed with his two children, a son and a daughter. And he has been like that for 6 years. I felt bad, I felt for him. But this is happening everywhere. We do not really understand why. So, and we can see that we know that these things, African women are magical, they are awesome, they are lovely, gorgeous, and powerful, brilliant, intellectuals, understanding, caring, the best mothers that can ever be, the best wives that God Olodumare created. But now the rate of divorce, would we say it's the women that are refusing, like something has changed in the women? Or we say something has changed in the men or for the men, or something has changed in the society? Is it that the former laws of love, has love reduced? Has something coming? Most people blame it on the influence of Western world, now. Now that we have influence from other countries, we look at other people and maybe, but we don't know. But this is a persistent problem. I thought we had finished trashing it before. I thought we had gotten hold of, like, what is going on. Sorry, we're hearing feedback from. Okay, so we thought we had everything covered up, but now we're not saying that. When I went out, I saw that, wow, this problem is still outside. It's very, very out at large, even more than I thought. So we want the house to discuss this so that people outside can have the knowledge. And those of you outside who are thinking the same thing, please follow us on today's show. It's going to be very interesting because we have experienced mothers. We have men that are not married here, men that are looking forward to marry so they can know what to learn. If you're like that, you know what to marry. We have people listening in who are not even on the show, but whenever it's 4 o'clock, they come around just to hear African Youth Parliament. They like to hear the gist, So men, women, ladies who are not yet married, and those who are married to want to know what the women think, what the young ones think. And thank God we have Damsey and Sci-Fi in the house. They are young unmarried men, and they will have, So let's open the microphone. So let's start with our very own Ajokeade Ifeanyiwa. Ajokeade, please, what do you think? The rate of divorce in Africa, is it the women? Is it the men? What is the cause? We are not trying to put blame on anyone, but why? If we know why, then we can know how to stop it, how to prevent it, how to curtail it, to bring it low, to reduce the rate. And because now, they were even saying, according to the conversations I've had, they're like, this generation now, let's say we are seeing 50% divorce. They said the generation coming up will be seeing over 70 or 80%. That will be very happy. And we can say that in relationships. You date now, you break up, you date, break up. So there's a probability that marriages will almost look alike. So please, Ajokeade, tell us what you think. Tell us what you know. How can we help it? What is going on? Thank you very much, Ajokeade.
Okay, you have not been listening to Dudu in a while. You have been missing so much because we've got podcasts, videos, and content strictly for Africa. I am excited to be part of this awesome setup. Yes, today, when our honorable speaker sent the alert that, okay, this is what we are going to discuss, I was just like, whoa, that's great. I thought we have ended this matter. But as the matter is still looking us in the face, let me say kudos to all African women who have been trying their best in this system to be the best. Why will I say that? I intentionally went to look for the gang of women in Africa, on the continent of Africa. Many thanks for everybody listening to us live on the radio. If you don't have the radio, go to the website www.duduspreeofficial.com. One word, you will see the link there. We are live on radio Thanks everybody following us. Bomber to vendor. Okay. So here we are on. Can everybody hear me, please? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Because I'm receiving a
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So right now, what are we discussing? We have so many people looking for so many things, wanting so many things, and the expectations will not be met. Kudos to all the African women. Look at Mommy Adekemi's DP and look at the Africa with that hyphen, that the apostrophe Africa. This is a podcast for everyone. Check out the women, check out the way they are dressed, check out what we eat, check out everything, check out our upbringing. And you want us to be that prototype mama, that the mommy will be the one picking all the bills, taking all the SHIT in the home. Come on, our mothers did it. It didn't pay them. So we, the gang, this generation, have decided to rewrite the stories for ourselves. And definitely, divorce will increase because the men wanted a zombie as wife. They wanted, they wanted to be polygamous without responsibility. You want to be a polygamist without consent. Have you told that lady that you are actually chasing anything inside skirt, all in the name of polygamy? Somebody say, and you want that lady, after you have deformed her with childbirth, come on, to now be crying in one corner of the home. She will also look forward to what pays her and what betters her life. And this is the point we are today. It is pathetic, but it's the truth. You cannot give what you don't have. If you say you're a polygamist, women can also come up with polyandry. We have polyandry in some part of Kenya and in some part of Africa. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. See, the man wants to eat the white man's food. He wants to wear the white man's clothes. He wants to spend the white man's money. And you don't want to move the way the world is moving. You want that lady to dress like the white man's woman, fix the white woman dead one on her life's extension, then something is either wrong with this generation or our expectations may never be met. I'm hard because the woman you do not groom, you cannot get. Same thing goes to the ladies. The men you do not groom, you cannot get. So, who is training the woman and who is there to train the man? Is it the age of tall, dark, and handsome? Or the age of figure eight, sẹpẹsẹpẹ figure eight, bòǹbò àyà rẹ̀ ó dùn jọ ọsàn lọ. Ọlọ́mọge show me your back, diggy right, diggy left, ó yá wéré 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 kí á mọ́ sá. Jọ̀wọ́ show me your back. This song I'm singing now, so our fathers danced the way to it. They never knew it's going to be worse in our generation. Even during their generation, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good song, but they taught us this. So we're not better than our fathers. We can change the narrative. I end my case.
Thank you very much, Ajokeade. In fact, the ball is rolling already. Okay. Ilegiolua, Sci-Fi Ilegiolua. Yes, I would like to make a point before Sci-Fi comes in. And that is, mostly it is believed that Westerns have influences on everything that is going on in Africa. The Westerners, actually, the Western world, they have influences on everything that is going on. Like Ajokeade said, yes, we want to wear their clothes, we want to eat their food, we want to act like them. almost like we're looking up to them. I would have loved to say more, but yes, time is ticking, and I don't want to be the one wasting the time. So, sci-fi Ilegelua, what do you think about this? Oh, Damsey is raising up his hand. Okay, after sci-fi, we have Damsey, then we can go to Amori and Adikemi. So, sci-fi Ilegelua, what do you think? Is it the men or the women? Is it? Ajokeade said we need zombies. Do we actually want zombies? Let us know. Thank you very much, sci-fi. We appreciate it. Let's hear you.
Ẹ kú ilé là ń kára lé o, ẹ kú àbọ̀ là ń kó èrò ọ̀nà. I greet every one of you listening to this show. My name is Saifa Ileoluwa, and I welcome you to this program. Well, as we all know, when we talk about marriages in Africa, as in the Western Africa, since the outreach of this courtship and the white wedding, it has been to be noticed that most ladies now will be like, if it's not court marriage, I'm not doing, because I know what they can actually get from it. And most of the time, àwọn white weddings yìí wọn ò kí ń last wedding 3 months tàbí tí aya Ọlápò ṣe kò ní last after 3 months. To me, I feel as if it is the ladies in one way or the other, because since it's that you incident like you a lady claiming the Abasha Kenya I'll be having half of his property, because I'm cash alasha. Those days, when our forefathers were still alive, because you left your husband's house to your father's house. The Yorubas don't sell their daughters. I can show you. So when you get married in our own culture, but before a woman you say your parents will ask you ibi tó ń lọ yẹn mi ò fẹ́ gbọ́ pé òun jà òun bọ̀ lé o, nílé ọkọ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ni wọ́n máa ń fara da gbogbo nǹkan ni, àmọ́ nísìnyí kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Most of the ladies nowadays can't. That will be all from outside for now.
All right, thank you very much, Saifa. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much, Saifa. All right, before we call Damsey, you are the next now. But before we call Damsey, I would like to mention something. I was reading the news just 3 days ago, and I saw it where it said Janet Jackson, that is the younger sister, I don't know if it's younger, the sister of Michael Jackson, she divorced her husband. Her husband happens to be a big man from, Qatar, Dubai, I guess. So they promised her that if our marriage can last for 5 years, that I'll give you $100 million. And also, if you can give me a son, I'll give you $100 million. Do you know what happened? I thought the lady would be encouraged to feel like, but boy, didn't make a photo. He really wants our marriage to work. That is why at least he's saying $100 million. Not that he's buying you out or anything, maybe it's out of love or something. In fact, the guy might even be desperate to feel like, just anything to buy my phone, what am I familiar? But at the end of the day, you know what happened? After the marriage clocked 5 years, like this, she filed for divorce. And, she just gave me a son too during the same period. She filed for divorce, and the man gave him $100 million. At least the marriage has reached 5 years now. And I've given you a son, and that's $200 million. That was Woto Magba for, all those stupid things. So, okay. So that is just everything. And, it is not making me feel like, what what exactly did she want? And also, I was just reading about this man this morning. I heard those guys, yes, during that conversation, they talked about him. And I was like, it is not possible. And that is Steve Harvey. I don't know if you know about Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey happens to be a very interesting man. He talks about marriages. He advises young people on marriage, concerning marriage, about living, a motivational speaker, an inspirational speaker, and he talks a lot about marriage, and he's very good. He writes book on marriage. This man is absolutely intelligent. And he said he and his wife, they started when they were young, he grew her But do you know what just happened recently? He found out that his wife was cheating on him with the bodyguard. I was like, Steve Harvey's wife. It was crazy. And so, but, oh, Mommy, I think Kemi, I would like you to go first before Dam's the picture. So, you are a mother and a woman, so we know what to say. Please,
Why do you
what
want me
would
to
have
go
happened?
first? I would have listened to everybody and conclude it and give see the notion of everybody and see the way they are thinking. I would have loved
okay,
to
yeah,
listen
because
to everybody.
I think Dams is
Yeah, I want sci-fi. I want to listen to all
okay.
all you have to talk about.
Okay. Okay, so Damsey, are you still there? If you are still there, would you like to go now, please? Thank you. Damsey, you have not unmuted, please.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm coming. Yeah, thank you, my honorable host, Damai, for giving me this privilege to actually speak this very moment. We've actually come across a lot of people in this scenario. Cypher has spoken, Mami Ajokeade has spoken, our honorable speaker too has spoken. Well, to my own observation, I won't say it is the male, I won't say it is the female. Everyone has his own perspective to play in, particular in influence in Africa, because I would actually drive my own take in the theme we actually spoke, that is talking about the Africa influence, West Africa influence. Well, we human beings have our own way of life of living. So if we say we want to take the perspective of being a male, that Bobo Korini, marriage, everyone have their own say in terms of marriage. It is not all marriage that starts in a good way that ends in a good way. And it's not all marriage that starts in a bad way that still ends in a bad way. I've come across different kinds of marriages that the male is after sex. It's not after any other thing. What it derives most is sex. It's not even driving the it doesn't want to know the type of children the woman wants to give birth to. But what do I want to actually pinpoint there is that what is the influence there in Africa? Because we have not actually taken that part. The influence in Africa is actually broad. It is just like as if we would take all the hours here today. But the pinpoint one we've taken out is the women aspect and the male aspect. But I feel I would keep hearing before I even conclude on my own still, because I still want to hear from everyone first if I still continue. Because I have a lot to say if I continue. Thank you.
Okay, actually, you can just tell us a bit of what you have, maybe 1 or 2 points if you want to, just so then we can, move on. Or, to prepare you, this issue is really broad indeed. We've heard of situations whereby women will just give you reasons that you do not understand. From yesterday's conversation, I understood a lot of things that I've never thought of as a man, things that I didn't expect, like way in Tobai Hotel they exist. I was still sharing with a friend of mine how someone had a girlfriend and his girlfriend cheated on him just because the other guy she cheated with had dread. She saw a guy that had dread and she was like, oh, wow, I like his dread. And you cheated on your boyfriend with him because of dread. Like, what is going on? Is it men? I know men are very funny. In fact, there's a popular face now, or a popular sentence. Let me, I don't know if so they say men are scum. Men are scum. It's true. Like men are scum. I feel like not all men shall. Because me, I'm not scum. My daddy is not scum. My brother is not scum. My friend Cypher Damsey, they are not scum. Are you scum?
All men are scums. Categories, lawyer.
Categories of scum. Voila. Hey, okay. Me, I'm a good scum. Okay. So now, but we men, actually, from my own point of view, from at least the few I've seen, I have brothers, and I have 6 brothers to be precise. We have 7 boys, so I'm always looking. That's why I'm very concerned. I'm always looking at them, watching their relationships, learning from their mistakes, knowing what's going on. And right now, many guys out there are afraid of settling down. And there is now a popular issue. Most people, láyé àtijọ́, during our time, before everything became what it is now, we used to have, not our time, but like the time of our fathers, rather. I've been here before, so that's why I said our time. So we used to have relationships where you first have only, so already know somebody will be on the road to introduce you to. They will know your family, know who you are. Then they said whenever there was an issue, even when you get married, there are people you can go and meet. Like Balele, or family heads, all those head of families. There are people who are there to counsel you in the marriage, guide you in the marriage, put you up. But now we just have marriage counselors who counsel you with books, who counsel you with normal things. But before there are ways that they can almost see the problems to your marriage, counsel you, help you out with deep knowledge. But now they just use psychologists. You go to school and study psychology, and you use psychology and so on. Marriage therapist. I didn't know. I don't think there was something like that. Maybe unless there was something, because if everything we see now has always been, but is either it is a reset of what was, or just a copy of what is to be, what is meant to actually be. So we used
She did at age 17. A woman that is 30, 35 cannot achieve it again. For you to know how biologically and psychologically a woman is shortchanged. Why? Childbirth, postnatal depression, black sheep, societal expectation, marital palaver. Okay, so now, but at age 17, a man can still do what he wants to do and still do that same thing till he is probably age 80. Reproduction is one of that. A man, like a young man, can reproduce from 17 till 80. Well, the viability of the baby at 80 is what I don't know. But biologically, he will still be able to do that. We've seen with Fatai rolling dollars, even Baba Obasanjo, even the late king in Oyo, even we've seen in all these Western world, they go after the younger girls. So why will a man now look at a woman that biologically she's been shortchanged, environmentally she's been shortchanged, and you now think you want that woman to be the one to bear the blame for marriages that are failing? The person that, like the case of Michael Jackson's sister, you don't know what these men do. You don't know what the kind of horrible sexual perversion they might have. Some of them, they will beat hell out of you in the name of getting sexually excited. Some of them, I've spoken with a lady, the husband, batters her. But you know what she told me? She said, after they reconciled, that the gift and the other room business is always better. So she now look forward to the whatever the engagement, the gift, and the other room palaver, once the beating is up. So she has been conditioned mentally, and the man will prostrate on the floor. Who cares about that? Women have gone through so much. Mommy Adekemi, should we allow the men to push this blame game? You are still sagging, carrying chokoto to the leg. You want me to be that responsible lady?
Can I just talk?
Thank you, my yes.
Yeah, when we're talking about marriage, I think, to God be the glory. I can talk of experience. I've been married now for 35 years now, for 30. Yeah, is it 35 or 36? I don't even know. Yeah, that I've been married. But when I was listening to a program this morning and it was about marriage. They said if you want the best of a marriage, on the part of the lady, you give her security. When you give that lady security, there's tendency that she will have rest of mind in the marriage because she believes that she's secured in whatever way. But when a man doesn't trust a woman, when there is a clause in a marriage, that is the root of, the beginning of crumbles. When you want the best of a man, the first one is give the man respect. When you respect a man, the man in return will respect you no matter what. But unfortunately, like Sister Ajoke said, they said the urge in men gives them that, and the way they are created, the way they made them to understand, they made them believe, not to understand, they made them believe that anything they do, they can get away with it. They can't get away with it, not in this Western world. I think the Western world has done more damages to marriage than good, if I may say. Because in the time of our fathers, the spirit of tolerance, the spirit of endurance, the women has it because of where they're coming from, because of how they were brought up. We were taught in the olden age in the olden days that there is nothing your man do to you that is wrong. Men are always right. But thank God this age, everyone is equal. Reason being, they said what men can do, women can do better. In the olden days, it is only men that goes out to work. You don't have the choice than to respect that man and kneel down to make sure the man is satisfied when he comes. Even then, when he comes, if he wants you, even if you have been in the kitchen all day tired, if he wants you in the bedroom, you have to answer. But these days, Western world, Western age, the man is working, the woman is working. Both of them are tired when they come. Even if them, hey, God have mercy.
Someone is at the front door.
Which door? Which of my door? Sorry, I'm not know. Because I have 2 doors now. I don't know if this. Nigerian door. Don't do that in Ole. Are you listening? What I'm saying? Yeah. So these days, the woman is tired, the man is tired. And what the man wants, when he comes, he wants his food on the table. He wants the woman to as well take care of the children. He wants the woman to do the cleaning of the house. How is that possible? It is not going to be possible. So the man had to learn the men of these days need to learn how to tolerate. And the reason why their tolerance level is low is because where they are coming from, the way they saw their parents doing it when they were growing up, is different from what they are seeing from the women of these days. Is everybody listening to me? So that is giving us problem these days. Even these days, women are very, very, very hardworking. What a man can do, women can do better. You understand? And at the end of the day, they earn more, if not, they earn above or same level with the man. And men doesn't like that. Men doesn't want to be on the same level with their woman. I don't know where that craziness is coming from. Let me use myself as an example. I don't want you to make it about when I first started working, I was making a lot of money, a solid money. So that time my husband would be saying, hey, you make money, you do this, that's, and then is just earning the normal salary and everything. So at the back of his brain, is this woman going to make it before me? But as a man, he can't deal with it. Not even as a man, as an Ondo man. Now I'm putting a clause now, as an Ondo man, that ego that is in their blood cannot take it. That I was looking for every means to, okay, now the first thing he said is, I must make sure I don't build house before him. That thing went into my brain that, how can a man be telling me I cannot do this, I cannot do this? Being a loyal woman, I wasn't able to do it. Rather than using my money to do something, and I need to hide myself, I was using my money to shop for myself. At least if I cannot build house, I can make myself happy. Are you listening to me, guys? So that is the first part of my life. But at the end of the day, when things went out of hand that he cannot, I have to call him to sit down that if you want to enjoy this marriage, and me, I have one thing. If it is to get out of marriage, it's easy to get out of marriage. But getting out of marriage is not for your own sake. You need to think of your children. I can say, being in the Western world, I am in my marriage now because of my children. Because I don't want my children to see that aspect of life. I want them to grow loving their wife. So I try as much as possible to show love and to do everything necessary. But men, there is no, like I said, all men are SCUMS. Oh. The good ones too are SCUMS. I used to have a friend. Thank God for that woman. And I thank God for my life and for her life. I used to have a friend then in Nigeria. She had all her children abroad. Then they moved to Nigeria. And every time the woman used to sell clothing and everything in a lectionary at that time. But every time I go to her, is either her face is battered or this is done. What is happening? But she wasn't able to say that. 1 minute she fell. And at the end of the day, when we became very close, I realized that it's not that the husband doesn't like her. I don't call that love anyway, because I won't put it as love. I'll call it as obsession and infatuation. The man cannot have sex without beating the wife. That is his own sex urge. He has to beat the wife before he can enjoy his marriage. How is that possible? So at the end of the day, when the woman was about dying, we had to, me as a person, I'm always proud to say I am part of why she's not dead today. Because till today, I realized that the husband was almost killing himself. Because when the beating was too much, we had to get her out of that marriage. Because the beating was too much. And thank God today, the woman is still alive, but regretting every step he has taken growing up. He used to be a son of a miller, those yagbagis. So they believe that without them, a woman cannot be anything. And thank God for that woman today. She is loaded. and she made it in life, and all the children made it in life. If that man had beaten the woman to stupor, will she be alive today to say thank you, Jesus? No. So men, some of them are, not all of them are good. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, but 10% of men outside in that world are good. 10%, you know. Thank God for my brother. The one out of the 10 of the men that are good outside is my darling brother. And Ajokeade knows who I'm talking about. Ajokeade is a lucky woman. She's a very stubborn lady, oh, but thank God. She's a very stubborn lady, but thank God for having my brother as a husband. I'm using her as an example, oh. Yes. But let's continue. Cypher, you said, I'm not going to blame the men. Some women these days, and most of the women in this generation are not trained. Take it or you leave it. They are not trained of how to enjoy a marriage or how to take care of your husband to have the best part of him. But I thank God today I am still alive. My husband is still alive. My children are still alive. But sometimes when you look at what is going on in the world, hey, I beg you, the men of these days, in the olden days, you don't sleep with a woman before you can marry that person. O láti bá yàwó ẹ ní àbá, owó ló gbọ́dọ̀ jábàálẹ̀ ìyàwó ẹ. If I'm lying, tell me. Oh, these days, men will tell you they cannot marry somebody they have not tasted. How do you appreciate that woman when you have already opened whatever you are not supposed to open? That gives them the security, that gives them the trust. But the moment a man stops trusting the wife or being too obsessed with a woman, that brings clauses to marriage. And these days, I think because the children think, the younger ones, this generation, they keep things to themselves. They want to be me and my family alone. Sometimes when you are going through something in marriage, there are some people you can go to. These days, I don't think the men open up. When they are going to open up, they open up to the wrong person. And the wrong person they have opened up to mislead them to do wrong thing, which is part of the problem of marriage these days. Influence, friends, peer group influence is another damage to marriage. If you marry a man, marry that man, marry every baggage that comes with him, and try to mend him to whatever you want him to be for you, both of you to be happy.
Whoa, that was great. Yes, I will say it because sometimes when my friends, when they tell me reasons why their men beat them up, I'll be like, come on, you've not even done like 1/20 of things this stubborn Ajoke can do. So, but I was curious. Maybe that's why I didn't even know that phrase, men as scum. I have never seen it before, but I used the AI. You know, I was curious and I asked the Google
Sister
bar.
Ajoke, sorry. The mind that says men are not scum. Your thinking is different from the thinking of your girlfriend. You have to align everything together to make it to blend. Because thinking about yàtọ̀ sí ti obìnrin tó fẹ́ lágídí, tí ìyẹn náà lágídí, tí ẹ bá kó irin méjèèjì bá wọná pọ̀, ẹ ní lè mú o. So sùúrù lílé ayé gbà, obìnrin ní sùúrù, ọkùnrin ní sùúrù. Téèyàn bá ní, the best bet is if you have a woman that you think is very stubborn or very hard to get through. Wọ́n ní èèyàn kan ló máa tẹríba fún kan. If you want a home, the man has to come down for the woman. Give that woman, give her a long rope. Òun fúnra ẹ̀ ló máa sú tó máa padà wá bẹ́ẹ̀. But tó bá ti ta gidi bọ̀, Ọlọ́run ọba o. Ẹ máa damage so many things. And whatever the children you are bringing up, it is whatever they see in you that they will grow with. Kò sí ò lè gbin ẹ̀gúsí kó ló fẹ́ kálùbọ́sà, kò possible. If you come from a marriage that is èpè every day, èpè máa jà ní tí ò bá jà ní ìsìn á jà later. And it's not about you, it's about your children that you are bringing up. I have every reason to fight, but everything in my brain is I don't want to end up the way my father and mother's marriage ended. I don't want my children to see what is going. I don't want my children to see anything bad. Can you believe that recently I was on this our YGY Yoruba anything, and I was so angry with Agbeloba that I started the way they were going. I started cursing. My daughter has been taking it. All of a sudden, she just came into the room. Mom, stop it! What is all this? I never knew you to be like this. What? Why are you cursing? Harmony, please calm down. I was only talking. No, Mama, no. I can stand down boldly and tell anybody that my mother will never curse anybody. But these days, I think you are going somewhere else. Àtijọ́ yẹn lẹ̀rú Yorùbá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bà mí. Torí mi gan mọ̀ pé lifestyle mi change. Joining this Yoruba thing has really changed my life. And I'm praying how to get out of it. Because this Yoruba thing has made me to do everything I have never done in my life. So with women and men, please, our children growing up now, they need to be very, 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 very calm. Very, very, very calm. All men are scums, but the scum in you, you can bring it down. Please. Women náà ní lọ́wọ́ o, but kò sí bó ṣe okun ò lè wórúkọ obìnrin, kò sí bó ṣe lè bínú tó bá yá inú ẹ̀ máa wálẹ̀. Ọkùnrin ló lágídí. And if God gives you a good husband, a good wife, please appreciate you. If God gives you a good husband, appreciate that person. Then make your wife feel secured. Make your wife feel secured, and please give trust. The moment you start doubting or looking for mistakes in a woman, then is the beginning of a breakup. Please. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, our speaker is here. But
Yeah.
Can I say what the AI said?
Yes,
The
please.
Google. Yes, when I asked Google, the BARD, BARD, that please, what is a scum? BARD told me that scum refers to a layer of dirt, grease, or other impurities, and it floats on the surface of a liquid. So it can also refer to a group of people considered to be worthless or contemptible. And why would you say that men are scum? Another question. Bard said that statement is harmful and is a sexist generalization. It is important to remember that not all members of any group are the same, and that men are just as diverse as any other population group. To say that all men are scum is not true, and to claim that they are worthless or contemptible is not only insensitive, but also untrue. I'm going to share this document later because I'm using Bardware for some scientific research presently. So I was not like, what is a worthless or contemptible thing? It says something that is worthless does not have value or importance.
There are some men outside that doesn't have value that are worthless too.
He says, Bard said something that is worthless have no value or importance. And he now said contemptible means of scorn or disgust. That is something that is contemptible means to be bad or evil. So some examples of things that are worthless. Can we say that our men are a piece of paper with no writing on it that is scrambled? A broken toy, a worthless piece of land, maybe in Europe. All the lands in Africa, they are not worthless. And when we say somebody is contemptible, a person who is cruel and dishonest, a person who has acts of violence or injustice, a person that commits crime against humanity. Our main this, however, to end it all, Bart said, unfortunately and ultimately, whether something or someone is considered to be worthless or contemptible is just a matter of opinion. So these are opinions that we should not take to heart. If you are not like a scum, I've learned one more thing today. Do not feel bad. If you are not cruel, contemptible, you are not a scum. I look forward to seeing the man that is as strong as Shango, Olukoso, as Ogun. You know, like a man that is strong, that does not have all their besettings, the besetting sins, the besetting nature of our fathers sold us to the point we are today. I look forward to men who do not chase after skirts, who plan, like the whites, they say, Omasapa Lakpa, who have, you know, layers upon layers of plans for, like America, God bless America, they have plans for the next 100 years. Like they can almost predict what their children will become in the 100 years. So far, the earth remains the same. Even let there be natural disaster like we had in California, it will not still stop that their long-term goal. These are men that could also be scums, who also have besetting sins, but they see beyond the future. I know that we are evolving, we are growing, but we should not forget home. I stand with all men today, and I say men are not scums. Like, with all sense of responsibility, do not be the scum. Now the ball is in your court, whether you want to be injustice, whether you want to be a violent person, whether you want to be a piece of paper without writing for the future, whether you want to be like a broken toy to be thrown away, whether you want to be a cruel person and dishonest. Some men can be cruel to their wife, and because they want to hurt the woman, they hurt the children. I can't imagine a man not, you know, you have the means, you rather buy house, give money to your girlfriend because of 5 minutes satisfaction, 30 minutes one night stand, and your wife and children do not have food at home. You just drop 1,500 naira. And you can actually do babarere babake. Such a man could be referred to as a scum. All the power rajas, well, some men are violent against their women. They beat their women up, you know, and some are so cruel that they beat them where no man will see. They are so particular, you know, they plan it. They will not beat the woman on the face or the hand. They will batter the back, you know, batter the butt, batter the vagina. These are the things we are speaking against today. Men are not scum and women are not scum. But the choice is ours today. If we want marriages to be okay, like before I got married, I was scared because I had an aunt, Auntie Mary, who became mad, MAD, because of marriage, because she had postnatal depression. I've been saying this over and over, and they just labeled her as a J. And the church, the community, they went against her and she became more depressed. Today, she's being managed at the psychiatric hospital, Arrow. 4 beautiful children, but she's not in her right sense right now to enjoy the fruit of her labor. So there are some women who have gone through so much in the hands of men. So what do we do? Let us know. So while I was speaking with her, in one of her happy moments when she was still, like, in fact, she screened my husband. She screened out lawyers, doctors. She screened out several people. In a happy moment, my husband knows her very well because I lived with her, even though she had mental health issues. She had her up times. The good times when she's happy, she speaks to me. I was like, Auntie Mary, marriage did this to you. I am scared of marriage. She said, no, not all marriages are bad. That the fact that she got hers wrong does not mean every marriages will be wrong. So I was not like, how do I survive? She was now like, we should learn from the pitfalls of those who have gone ahead. She told me her story, how it began. She was, I wouldn't say because they own practically a whole town in Lagos. She, like somebody controlling people who will come in from Ghana to, let me not say because it's a big story. Now, this woman, she did it for me. If I a doctor, she would just say, oh yeah, ajokeade máa lọ, à ń jáde. Àní ẹ máa lọ. In fact, some of them at that time, they will say, is she your mom? I say, she's my mom. In this Lagos, I know nobody. She's the one that is my mom. If she said no, it is no. So why will you be allowing somebody to control you? She did that for me. And my husband, not well dressed, with the big baggy, with the bushy hair, he might be listening now and will be laughing. With the bushy hair, he didn't even buy one apple. He has not even bought it since that day. He didn't even buy anything. He But Auntie Mary saw something that I am grateful to her till tomorrow. In her happy time, she said, take this guy. And I will tell you, my husband was just earning 7,000 Naira as a volunteer then. That wasn't even up to my tea fare to work. And not many women can do this. But I will tell you today, if I don't work again, which I do not work like I used to work, I will eat. If a woman get pregnant for my husband today, I will collect the child and send the woman away. Let them all be hearing. Because I have labored, I have suffered, and I will not. But thank God I built my career alongside.
Excuse me, which one be let them all be hearing? Who are they?
Those are the they will.
Which one? Auntie Ajoke.
My husband shares the podcast with all the women ministries taking. So I'm just saying this, practically, he's an engineer, a sound engineer. I see the way they will enter the cubicle and they'll be packing breast. I see it. So these are things. And there was a day I had to tell one of them, I said, tó bá lóyún, tell anybody bá lóyún fọ́kọ mi, màá gbà. Màá gbọ́mọ yẹn, màá dẹ̀ lé obìnrin yẹn lọ. They were all laughing, but the lady was scared. I said, yes, I came with bomb. Like, so like these are jokes. Marriages are not easy. Today we still quarrel. Yesterday we still quarrel. But it's not that bad that I will now be saying that, okay, maybe insulting one another. And when he's going beyond the band, I say, please don't make fun of me. Now we will stop it. But when a man now say that I am the man, I can do anything undue to you, that is where the scum comes in. I respect African men that are striving daily under the sun to make their marriages work. And I plead with African women, please let us appreciate the little beginnings of our men and let them feel worthwhile. The man is on the street cleaning the shoe of another woman to be able to put food on the table. It will be injustice to him when he gets home and he's still not valued with that little change. I say, may Olodumare keep our men and let our women be sensitive enough to understand that all that glitters is not good. Honorable Speaker, over to you. I am emotional.
Thank you very much. I'm also emotional. One tear is coming out of my left eye like this. Seriously, I want to be appreciated. Seriously, like, thank you. All right, ma. So a very big thank you to our mommy Adekemi. A very big thank you to our mommy Ajokeade. This is a high value advice that no man or woman should ever forget. Women, marriages to be a very wonderful thing for marriages to be beautiful again. And yes, we'll pick the good and let go of the uglies. Yeah. And so a very big thanks to everybody who joined us today, from Cypher and Damsey and our very wonderful, knowledgeable women that have joined us today. We say a very big thank you to you. Everyone who is listening to us live on duduspreeofficial Media House, we say a very big thank you. Those watching us on YouTube right now, we say a very big thank you. Those on Instagram, on LinkedIn, we say a very big thank you. On Twitter, we say a very big thank you. And those listening to us on the radio, on Dudu Spring FM, we say a very big thank you to you. Without you, we won't be coming here. So next week we'll be here again. This is African Youth Parliament. We want Africa to be the best it can be. This is our land. This is our way of life. Africa means something more than just a continent. The people are of high value, and we will protect that in every way we can. So it's a very wonderful day. It has been a very wonderful conversation, and we really appreciate everyone who has joined us today. Have a wonderful week. We say goodbye. I'm your honorable host, Damine. Bye.